right? So Title 13 of the US Code is the Census Act. Most of the provisions come from around 1976. There are super stiff penalties for government employees who unlawfully disclose census data, even within the government, right? I think it's 5 years in prison, and I want to say
$250,000.
it might be a $250,000 fine. It might be a $5,000 fine though. But the 5 years in prison is a pretty big deterrent to sharing people's individual information. 5 years in prison is a deterrent to a lot of things.
So but is that portion of the law, I just want to jump in, is it lacking in any way? I mean, that's a stiff penalty. It sounds like
it's pretty tight. It's never been violated to the best of my knowledge, and I get this question a lot. I would also, it's not the only protection we have though, right? Like, you got to remember that the Census Bureau is largely staffed by career civil servants, right? People and really wonderful data scientists who do their best to make sure we have a complete and accurate count. And the data is most securely in their hands, and there's numerous layers between political appointees and the career civil servants who have the data. There are disclosure avoidance procedures that go on, to make sure that individual level data is not able to get out. There are statistical practices that are enforced throughout the executive branch in order to protect individual data. So there's a lot of layers, and right, as lawyers, we never ever make 100% guarantees. I will not make one here today. But your data is pretty safe in the hands of the regulatory regime that we have. And as awful as this administration is, as hard as it is to trust them, I think you're in pretty good hands filling out the census and giving that data, and encouraging others to do so also. And if it makes you sleep better at night, there's a 5-year statute of limitations on that federal law criminalizing disclosure. So even after the end of the Trump administration, people who unlawfully disclose it could still go to jail.